Hi everyone, it's the Tides Changing here, and welcome to part 7 of Let's Build a Suburban House. So what I'm going to be doing in this part is taking care of some things that you guys suggested I change on the outside of the house, and then, once I've taken care of all the suggestions and finished everything up, I will hopefully have time to start on the interior, which I'm really excited to begin on. Something I want to say really quick though before getting into things is that the part after this, part 8, will be recorded right after I'm done recording this part. Usually what I've been doing is I've been recording each part about a day or two before it goes up, so that way I can, take care of any suggestions that you guys leave. But this next week will be the last week of classes before finals week, and things are going to be really crazy because everything's due. There's going to be a lot of late nights, and I'm just not really going to have time during the week to record, and, I want to have another part of the series up later in the week. So the only way for me to do that is to just record parts 7 and 8 back to back. It's not really a huge deal, it just means that, like I said, in part 8 I'll just be jumping right into continuing on the house rather than, adjusting things that were done in the previous part, take care of suggestions. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know that, so, if you guys would know why I was just jumping right into things in the next part rather than, taking care of suggestions like I said. But yeah, all that means is that in part 9 I will be taking care of suggestions from both this part and part 8, so, if you do have suggestions, then of course leave them and they'll be taken care of in part 9. But now I'm gonna get right into things. So, in the comments of the last part, Jamie suggested that I put more lighting here near the monkey bars. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this light over here onto this side of the tree, and then for symmetry I'm gonna have another one over here. So this way there's more lighting, and then, like I said, there's some symmetry, which was, a worry of mine, and most of the suggestions on the last part were regarding what to do with this area right here, like with the porches, because I just kind of put down benches because I wasn't really sure what to do with all the space, so there are several suggestions on what to do. Blubberpuff suggested that I add some garden decorations, like there was, like, an item that looked like a watering pail, and just other decorations that just look like gardening items. And then Ashley and Deanna suggested that I add the wheelbarrow with flowers, and Deanna suggested that I add dandelions near all the trees, which doesn't really regard the decks, but that is something that I will do. And then Kirsten said that she did like the fancier benches, so I will change it to the fancier ones, but I just won't have benches all over the place like I do now. Another common suggestion was that I add a chest table and easel to the deck area, which is a really good idea. I completely forgot about that. That's usually stuff I add to decks, but I just forgot about it when I was doing the last part. And also Lauren suggested outdoor dining, and Kayla suggested that I add some potted flowers to the decks. So I'm just going to, I guess, redo things, like just get rid of all of this and then redo it, put some better items out here than just, benches all over the place. So I'm just going to get rid of, oh whoops, I did not mean to get rid of the flooring. I'm just going to get rid of all of this and redo it some. So I think right here where I had those, tables and the coffee table type thing would be a good spot for some outdoor dining. So I will use the same table right here, like that's the actual table form of it rather than a coffee table, and then I will actually, let me change that to the same type of, I think it was this one the same one? I want it to be the same table type but without the umbrella, so let me make sure I get that right. Okay, there we go, that's it. Alright, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it right here, and then for this spot right here, I'm just going to use these tables so that it matches, but then when I put the chest table in probably somewhere else on the deck, then I'll use the fancier chairs. So it'll be sort of a mix, but I think that for right here, it'll be good to have these match. And then I'll just leave that right there. And then I think that right in this corner here would be a really good spot for a potted flower, so let me just go find those. So this one right here is actually maybe one a little bit bigger than that. So we can add this as a nice outdoory type potted plant. There are some others, but I think that one's pretty good. And then here is the wheelbarrow with the flowers that it was suggested that I add. So let me put that in right, where can I, there we go. I think that looks good right there, kind of in the corner. Let me see if I can, I was trying to see if I could, I guess the column's stopping me from getting in a little bit closer. And you know what? Actually, I think the white's good. It kind of stands out because if I make it brown, it might blend in too much with the. Or I could make it green. I actually like the green because it's something a little bit different than the white, and then it doesn't, completely blend in with the wood decking like the other one does. So already I think this is looking a little bit better. And then since we took away the table lamp, I'm just gonna put in another light right there. So there we've got some nice, it's already looking a lot better and much better decorated. And over here, I think I'm going to put the easel right here so it sort of overlooks the nice scenic river. I think that'd be a really good spot to have an easel for some inspiration. So let me go ahead and get that. Let's put it right here. Let's kind of center it in front of... I don't want to accidentally move the floor again. Alright, there we go. I think that's a good spot. And I will be removing that tree because Ashley suggested that there be no trees on this side and that I add in some plants along here instead. So I will take care of that once I put everything on the deck so, you won't have this tree blocking the view right here. And I think that this is a good color. We could... Yeah, I think just this one's good. I don't know if I want to have the one with plant splatter all over it. And then right here we could have another potted plant. So let's see, which one do I want to add? We could do this one. Maybe we could size it up. Yeah, there we go. I like that. So we can size that up and just have it right there. That way, there's a lot of room to kind of maneuver around the easel. And yeah, it did look kind of off before how I had so much seating. And also the garden decorations, the gardening decorations. Let's add some of those. So here's this one. I'm actually going to add this over near the garden, so it's kind of like, over here for them to use. So I think maybe over here near the garden might be a better spot to put all the stuff. So it's kind of like they just left it there after they were done gardening. And there was some other stuff. Okay, here we go, this. There we go. So it's like we got the garden stuff left behind. Let's see what other colors there are for this. Ooh, I like the green. That's cool. And I think there was just a watering pail, or maybe I'm thinking of the decorative one with flowers in it, but I think there might have been just a plain... Okay, I guess there isn't. And maybe, I think it was this one in here. Yeah, I think it was just the one in here that had the flower sticking out of it, which wouldn't really make... I don't think this would really make a whole lot of sense. So I think that's fine. I think I'm going to move this over here so there's something over here. I believe that's it as far as those garden type decorative items. So there we go. That adds a little bit of a lived-in look right there. And maybe, I don't know if we should have some chairs over here. I don't know if maybe around here I should use the fancier ones, or maybe I just shouldn't have chairs here. Yeah, I think maybe I shouldn't have chairs here. Like, just leave it as like a spot for the easel. And then I will put I think I want to put the chess table in over here. So let's go with this one. Yeah, I think this one's good. And it perfectly matches these chairs. So we could have something a little bit fancier right around here. And I think I will put a bench in over right here. Maybe this one? Yeah, I think this one would be good because it's a little bit more. I think it belongs a little bit better than the really fancy benches. It looks like something you would actually have on a porch. So now I just got to pick out the colors for it. Do we want to go with white or some kind of brown? If I go with the brown, it might look like it blends in too much. So maybe white would be better. Maybe just the grayish color. You know what, I'll go with that for the time being, and then I can add back in the table that I had there before that I kind of deleted. So let's put in this one right here. I think that's a pretty nice table. Let's see if we can scooch it in a little bit closer, and then we can add in that light back on it. So I believe it was this one right here. Alright, there we go. So now we got some lighting back in there, and maybe another potted plant right there. So let's see what we have that would work outdoors. Maybe this one. There we go. I think that looks good. Looks like something you would see out on a porch. So yeah, definitely getting a little bit more variety in the decorations. I think I'm going to use this one once again and just size it up also and put in right here in this corner. And then maybe some potted, I think we need some potted plants in over here as well. So I think we can, ooh, I like this one. All right, so we can go with that there, and maybe something, maybe go with another one that's the same over here. And there were those really neat decorations that look like something you would see on a porch. Where is it? There's like a little, it was like a pig and a rabbit or something like that. Like they look like, oh, they were in statues. This right here. I think that'd be perfect. That seems like, I think that seems like something you'd see right in front of a door. Yeah, I think so. And maybe another one on the other side. Maybe the yellow. Yeah, maybe the yellow. And then they have like these. They have like a little pig one. You can add that in too. There we go. I think that looks cute. I think it makes it look a lot more. I think it makes it look a lot more homey than it did before. So there we go. We got some more decorations going on, and maybe. I don't know about this bench anymore, but this one. Maybe we could add this one to see if we can get it to match the chairs and stuff over there. I think this kind of sort of matches a little bit. I don't know. We can put this one in here. Yeah, I think that actually looks nicer, although it isn't the exact same colors as these. I guess that's fine. I mean, it's a little bit mismatched, but I don't really want to add this one in just because it. You know what? Maybe I could just add this one in that way it matches, because it's gonna drive me nuts if they're like they're close but not. I don't know. It's just too close without being the same. So maybe we can add this bench in here, and then move this flower back in a little bit closer. Alright, there we go. I guess that looks fine. So we have a mix of the casual back here with, so it matches there. I think that looks fine because, you're not really going to be able to see this bench over here from there. So I believe it works. And I think it's fine just to leave that empty because it might just look a little too cluttered if you have something right across from the easel. There we go. I think that is good for the duck decorations. It looks a lot better. And let's go all the way up and see how that looks with everything. Yeah, I think that looks better than it did before. Now I'm going to work on redoing the gardening around the side here. So like I said, I'm just going to get rid of those and add in some other plants right here. Yeah, because I guess it did look like a little bit too much with those big blossom trees and then also having, trees right next to them. So what I was thinking that maybe right in front of where the columns were, I could have some larger plants. I don't know if I'm going to have anything next to that. I'll see how it looks, but maybe these would look good. Maybe it would look good to have these plants right here in front of all the columns. It could look nice. And then another one back here in this corner. Let's see how that looks. Maybe, and also lavender. The lavender isn't as tall though, but it's a little bit more subtle. And then maybe it look nice to have some plants, not just, like one layer of plants, I guess, in between there. That might look pretty nice, and I don't want to get too symmetrical with these, so let's see, we'll just add in some random things, not really in any specific order, and let's throw in a rock here and there. Let's also pick this. There we go, so I think that'll look nice, just to have a nice thinner layer, I guess, of plants right around the side. So it's a little bit low lying, but then there's more going on around the side of the house. So we can shove another one of those right in there, and then let's see, right there. Alright. It does that sometimes where it doesn't go all the way out over here, and then I have to go back out to get it too. And perhaps another rock right in there. There we go. Alright, that looks good. We'll put another one of these in here. And ooh, there we go. Love that. Now let's put another one of you right here. And that there, and then I think another rock in there would be good. So hopefully this is the last, I think this will be the last of, like placing flowers that I have to do. And then yet another rock. Alright, there we go, and I believe that's good. So now let's just put in the dirt. And I think that will look good for the side of the house. I don't think this is too busy. Like, it would be busy if I made the plants go all the way from the house out to the street, but I think this looks fine. Let's see how that looks when you go out and have the trees. Yeah, I think that looks better. Makes this, yeah, I actually really like how that looks. Another suggestion was to change these back doors to be two glass ones stuck next to each other, so I will go ahead and do that. So let's see what we have. We could do this one. Let's try this. Oh, that one takes up two doors. I could do these. Maybe one that's a little bit more glass. If this one wasn't too, although maybe this one would work. This one takes up two spaces. It's a little bit smaller, but I think that oh, maybe this, is this one with window? Oh, there we go. That one's perfect. Okay, so I'll double those up. That actually would look a lot nicer. Let's turn around. Ah, I just had it. Got it. All right, there we go. Yeah, that definitely looks a lot nicer, like some really nice French glass doors. And also another thing to address is Personify, Peach, Mare, and Ashley all suggested that I change the bar stools. They said that the bar looked good, but that it might be the bar stools that are making it look off. So I'm going to change it to these ones, which are actually the ones that match it, and they look more rugged and like ones that you would see outdoors since, you know, they're metal and not, you know, that just seems like more of a material that you would see outdoors. And I think, yeah, I think this coloring's fine, so I am going to go ahead and keep that coloring. Ashley also said that she thought some of the plants around the bar might be a bit overpowering. And looking at it, I think the main issue is this one right here. I think this is fine because it's further back. A lot of the larger ones are further back. So I'm just going to take that one out and then just put in some smaller plants right here. So we'll add in one of these. And we'll add, actually, let's go with this one right here. There we go. Alright, so I think that's good. And that is, I believe, all of the outdoor suggestions. So the outdoors are finished. So for the last little bit of the video, I'm going to finally move indoors. I'm probably not going to get a whole lot done. I'm just going to start right in here with the main areas. I might only get like the foyer done in this part, but first thing to do is finish putting in all the doors and stuff, doors and arches on the first floor here. So I think that this arch right here is good for that spot, and I'm just going to keep using that throughout. So right here, I think this is a good spot for that arch, and then you can have one down the center here and another one there, so you know you can get all the way through all of this. And then we also need the doors for the bedroom and the half bathroom, so we will do that. And I think for the inside here, did I put doors? Okay, I only put this door upstairs, so I'll just use the same door here. And we'll add this one in. Why can't I place you? There we go. Alright. I was worried there for a minute. So yeah, I think that's good, and then that could be the door for the bathroom. And I think this is a good size for the... It ended up being a little bit smaller when I pushed this wall in, but I think this is still a fine size for the guest bedroom. So there we go. All the doors and arches are in place. So now I'm going to actually start the whole decorating process. So for the wood in the main area, I think I'm going to go with this wood right here because I just really like how it looks. I don't know, it's definitely my favorite wood in the game, so I'm going to go with that. And why does this look weird? Why is the coloring on this weird? Huh. Hopefully that gets fixed when I put some lights in, but I'm going to start things off in the foyer area right here, and that might be all that I get done in this part. I also need to add the railings to these stairs here. I think... Shoot, which one matches? I think this one does. There we go. Alright, I think that's the one that matches. That looks good. And to start things off, I think what would look good right here is the nice little coat hanger type object. So let's go ahead and put that in. So right here. And that's all I'm gonna put right there in that spot. I think that coloring's fine. And then also some shoe rack, I guess a shoe rack right here, so we'll just stick this one and move it over a little bit. So there we go, I think that looks fine. And I also should add in some lighting as well. So let's see what we want to use. I'm not really super pleased with the lighting choices in The Sims 4. I do want to have something a little bit fancier here in the foyer area, so I think that maybe... I don't know, do I want to go with a whole chandelier? Actually, maybe a chandelier right in the entrance area would look... I don't know, that might look nice and fancy. Although, I think that's a little bit too low-hanging for this area. Maybe this one right here, or perhaps... That looks more like something you would see outdoors. You know what? We'll just go back with the chandelier and see what color options there are. So it looks like that's it. I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit too old-fashioned looking for here. Or we could do this one. Hopefully they add in more indoor lighting with expansion packs. Because I kind of want to go with something that's a little bit more modern looking since it's supposed to be a newer house. Maybe that lighting right there, and then we can have another one, or maybe over here we can just have lamps and stuff like that. And also, actually, I'm gonna do the rest before I go putting in rugs. So let's see, what do we want to do in here? I think we definitely have to have. We could have a nice accent table in right here. I think that'd be a good spot for an accent table, so let's go ahead and put that in. And I'm pretty sure all I'm going to do this part is just placing furniture into the foyer area because I don't want this to end up really, really long. I think this one right here is good. That's a nice, more contemporary table to go there. And I like that color choice. And then behind it we can have a nice painting and then place some decorations on top of it. So let's see, what do we want to go with? That's a little bit too small. Maybe something more modern looking. Oh, maybe this. I think that'd be good. Just some nice landscaping behind there. And there we go. I think that's a good frame color. And then on top of it, we can have these. There we go. We can have a picture. I wish there was more picture options than just the apple and the pear one. Because I keep putting these fruit pictures in houses because they're the well, I mean it's either fruit or butterfly, so I just put the fruit because it makes, I guess the butterflies look weird. I don't know. There we go. I think that's some good decorations right there. And let me see if I can fit in a small flower next to it. Maybe this one right here. Actually, can I put this? I don't think. Oh, there we go. I can put that. Actually, maybe this should be the centerpiece. And then some books, and then we can get rid of the picture because I just feel like I always use that. There we go. Yeah, I think that actually looks nicer. And perhaps we can fit in a little something right there. I don't think we'll be able to though. So if I put in this smaller one, I can. But then maybe that's. I don't know. Maybe we should just leave it at that so it doesn't get overloaded with plants. Yeah, perhaps that's fine. There's not really going to be a ton of furniture in this area, I guess. And then perhaps over here we could have a little sitting area, maybe a bookcase. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit a bookcase somewhere in here. But we could put in some living chairs and a coffee table on it. I think that would look really nice. So let's see, I don't want to go too modern, or I don't want to go too traditional or too modern. That looks, I don't know, that doesn't really look like foyer type sitting area. Or a foyer type chair. Let's see. I actually kind of like the look of this one. So, oh, did I close that by accident or did that close on its own? I don't know. I may have accidentally closed that without thinking. Yeah, I think that those look good right there. And then I should probably change the colors. There's so many color options. What do I want to go with? Maybe something bright. Maybe that. I like that. It's nice to. I think there was a suggestion in. I can't remember what part it was. It was one of the earlier ones where someone suggested that I use bright colors in this house. So I'm gonna try to do that. So I think these are some nice, bright colors to have in here, and then we can have a nice little coffee table or nice little end table type thing right here. Let's see. Surfaces. What do we want to use? Do we want to use... There we go. I think that looks nice. And we can see if we can make it match the wood on that. So I guess another option would be to use the table I used out here. This one right here. That actually works... Oh, whoops. This table right here actually works really well if you want to have a coffee table in a smaller area. So I think that actually looks pretty nice right there. Although I don't know if it looks odd to use the same table indoors that I use outdoors. I think it looks fine. There we go. I think that matches. Because I don't know, I feel like that other table is a little bit much, and there are some other more traditional ones. Well, there aren't really. I mean, I could use this one, but I feel like it doesn't really match the furniture well enough. This looks like a nightstand, so I think that this table right here works really well. And then on it, we can maybe have some books or something, or some books and tissues, little decorations. So let's let's have a tissue box, and then also, once again, these books, but I'll change the color on them so they look like they're different books than what's on the accent table over there, and we can change this to be... Actually, let's just go with white. We don't want to look like we're trying to match things too much. And then I think a nice floor lamp would be good for a little bit of lighting over in this area. And so let's see. I think this one's good. It looks doesn't look modern, but doesn't look overly traditional either. I think it fits in well to the theme of this house. There we go. All right, I think that looks good. Actually, I don't know if I like the color of those books. I think that looks fine. And then over here, what can we have? Maybe we can fit in a little bookshelf over here. Let's see. I don't think I'm gonna be able to fit in a bookshelf there, but I can try at least. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to do. If I ever come down a little bit, it fits. Maybe we can scooch this over more. There we go. We could scooch these over closer to the table, and then I could fit in a bookshelf. There we go. We got a nice little reading nook right in there, and then we can add some curtains behind there. Let's see. Actually, maybe I don't want to go with these chairs. Maybe I want to go with ones that are a little bit more contemporary looking. There is this one, but then, I don't know. I kind of like the look of those, but then I'm worried that maybe they look a little bit too traditional for this house, or maybe this coffee table does look odd. You guys can let me know what you think of that. Like I said, I will take care of suggestions from this part in part 9 due to having to pre-record. Now we have to also put in the foyer, the foyer. No, we have to put in some curtains here. We can just do this. This does work, although it's not one solid window, so maybe that doesn't look quite right. Let's see, this doesn't really work there. Then a lot of these are too wide, so I can't really use them. There is this, but I don't know if it might look odd if I put... Actually, I don't know, maybe the thing I did with the curtains on the ends here looked a little bit better. Alright, let's try this one again. And then we can change it to... Maybe I just want to go with plain white. There we go. I think that looks good, and it will look better once I add in the wall paint, of course, because it just looks sort of odd right now. And as for a rug, we definitely need to have a rug in here. So maybe we could just go with this one here and move it over a little bit in front of that, so it doesn't take up too much floor space, I guess. And then just make it a nice white color. And then we also need something else right here. I think. I don't know, maybe we don't. Maybe a nice... We could just do this one in front of the door and just have that be it right there. And then we could also make that one white so it matches. I'm still not sure, because I want to have a reading nook right here, but then I just don't know about those chairs. I feel like they just don't really fit in that well, so I think I want to change that up. I mean, we could go with these. I think these could look... Yeah, you know what? I actually think that's fine. It's kind of more, because I definitely want this house to have more of a contemporary furnishing style to it, and I think this fits in better with everything. And we could just change these to a nice bright color. Let's see. That isn't really bright, but it's like what was in there before. And this chair doesn't really have as many bright colors with it, but maybe the green looks good. And then now I'm going to go ahead and change this coffee table right here, because now that I changed that, I think we do need to go with something a little bit less traditional looking. So let's go ahead and add in this. If we can fit it, why can't I fit it? I guess it's a little bigger, so we'll just scooch these over a little bit and then add this in here, and then scooch them back in as much as we can. And then we can change the color to match. I think this one, because I do like the little reading nook area, but then I just feel like that's a little bit too high up. I don't know. You guys can leave your suggestions on what you think of that, and I'll come back to it in part 9, I guess, or maybe I'll adjust it next part. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna move on from there so this part doesn't end up too long, and I could get this pretty much finished. So I think that this would look nice right in here, and let's just darken that, and then another picture right here. And there we go. We can have a little, although actually we can't, you know what, I'm going to put this one in here and get rid of that one since we can't really have a painting there because of the door to the bathroom. But there we go. I think that's good for the decorating in here for now, so I'm going to go ahead and pick out some wallpaper. So I do want to go with something bright and cheery. No, we're not going to go with that. Could go with a nice bright green. That actually looks pretty good. Also got to do this right here, and then I'm gonna have to change this in here for the kitchen, but I can come back to that next time. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. It's all nice and bright. I'm still not 100% sure on how I feel about the furnishing in the foyer area, so I would love to hear your suggestions on that. Because I don't know, I'm not completely happy with this, so I do need to think about what I want to do for this a little bit more. So definitely leave your suggestions for what you think I should do with the foyer, but I do like this wall covering, and actually let me add in a small picture right there above the shoes. I definitely think, so we can add this one in here that I was going to add over on the other area, but I do think that the wall color looks nice and bright and cheery. Next part, I will just go ahead and move on to the kitchen and then the living room, hopefully, and I'll come back to this in part 9. So I'm just going to go ahead and end the part here. So I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.